Well, we want to thank you for listening to 831, and for the first 13 weeks, we were introducing ourselves to you and what we're all about. But here at the Sportcology Institute, we're always trying to help people do the best they can to live their best life. And so, for the next few weeks, we've changed it over, and we are doing a new segment called Headshots. And these are short motivational moments that we would give athletes and people we worked with, parents and coaches, to have available for them to use with their people to motivate them in the moment. They aren't the big long story in the speech. They're just short, quick hits. That's basically what they are, to make you think and make you go. And so we appreciate you listening to them and letting us know what you think of them. I'm Jungle Jim Hunter, and you're listening to 831 Living Your Best Life podcast, where we inspire participation, communicate precision, and empower performers to podium. And we hope you'll tell your friends and relatives to go to their favorite podcast provider or junglejimhunter.com or YouTube and subscribe, download, click on like, rate and review us, and let us know what you think. And become an 831er, someone that helps someone else live their best life because you were inspired by this podcast to live your best life. So, today's headshot. We think we must be spectacular. Don't. In the Olympic Games, the low and the high scores are thrown out. The key is consistency. You see, it's the fact that overall you were better than somebody else. In training, there were certain exercises where I came to a point in doing them, especially sit-ups, that I could do as many as I wanted to and never stop. In other words, the muscle had time to relax between each interval of doing the exercise, and one day I got to a place where I could do 1,000 sit-ups in a row without ever stopping. And I realized I could keep going, I guess, forever. Well, not quite forever, but who knows how long I could have gone. My 1% plan was working, and it taught me 3 lessons I want to give you today in the headshot. See, most of you are not consistent. The 168 racers that were ahead of me in the first race never went to the Olympics, not because they couldn't, not because they didn't have talent, not because they weren't better than me. They were. But it was because they were inconsistent in their preparation. In other words, they did it on the weekends. They didn't do anything between the weekends. What must you be consistent at that will make a difference for you? Number 2, your 1% progress compounds when you stay with it. You see, 1% of 10 is so little, but each time you add not just 1%, but you can do one more at 1%, that number keeps getting larger and larger. Do something that makes a difference for 365 days and the exponential growth, well, lift 10 pounds today and increase it by 1% every day for the next 365 days, and you're lifting 61.5 pounds. Yeah, that's how quickly it goes up. Do it for 7 years, and who knows where you'll be. And number 3, being consistent is more important than being motivated. See, the biggest challenge for most people is they think they have to be motivated to be consistent. No, it's the other way around. Sometimes I don't feel like eating, but I do. Sometimes I don't feel like sleeping, but I do. Sometimes I don't feel like working, but I do. I may not be motivated sometimes, but I start and I get at it and I did it and it made all the difference. I remembered when I was trying to figure out how to train on the farm next to the grain bin while it was filling the truck. And I had all kinds of rocks sitting around the bin, and I weighed them. And I put them in order from lightest to heaviest. And every time I would do a push-up or a sit-up or a dip or any kind of exercise, I would add a rock. And when I'd finished that rock, I moved it out of the way. So I never went back to it again. And then I went to the next rock and I'd put that in my pocket. And then the next one. And then the next one. And eventually I got rid of all the rocks that I could fit in my pockets anyway. It was just a little bit. An ounce here, an ounce there. But each time I went up. My quote for the day, your consistency must be greater than your consistency to be motivated. Thank you for listening. I hope you will have grown, at least by 1%, the next time we get together.